First of all, welcome to the channel and thank you for stopping by. When time permits, please consider subscribing. I would greatly appreciate it. What we have here today is my 790 Adventure R, and it's been a great bike. However, the biggest failing I noticed the moment I got on the bike to begin a 4.5 hour ride home was this screen is worse than nothing. Instead of blocking air or protecting me from the oncoming air, it seems to direct it all at my neck. I'm 5 feet 10 with a slightly long torso and short legs, so I think between 5'10 and 6'1, what the screen is going to do is catch you right under the helmet. This means extra noise is coming into the helmet, and it also means it feels like someone's pressing on your throat the entire time you're riding this, if you're riding between 55 and 75 miles an hour. So what I'm going to do today is get rid of this. I don't have one of my screens of choice available to me, which would be a GV, but what I do have is the taller 790 screen that comes on the S model. Now, I have seen a lot of folks on the Facebook groups post that this is a good solution. Grab one. They're less than $100. You can get them used for $40 or $50 on eBay, and they will indeed offer you a level of protection that this terrible piece of plastic designed by someone who wanted you to choke simply does not. So, unfortunately or fortunately, when you're changing your screen out on a 790 or a 390 or an 890 for that matter, it's just this screw. So we're going to quickly take that screw off and then go ahead and install the taller screen and see how that looks. After that, we're going to take it for a ride. We're going to get up to speed, and we'll find out exactly what kind of coverage we can get from the least expensive upgrade that I'm aware of. Now, I've had the bike for about a week, and I've learned something very interesting, and that is all of the bolts are loose. I made some adjustments around the bike, and I found that every single bolt was not torqued down. I mean, they were like twist, including the pinch bolts here on the forks. So I guess even though it's a twin, this vibrates enough that over time, the bolts are backing out. Let's find out how tight the windscreen's on. I mean, it seems fine. You know, it only has one bolt, so it's not exactly firm, but I'm interested to see if I actually need a socket. Oh my goodness. That's all that holds my windscreen in. And, wow. It was not tight. I really do think that I need to check every single bolt before I go very far on this bike. As you can see here, we have two choices, the lower and the upper. I'm going to start with the lower because I do know that with only one tiny mounting bolt, I'm concerned that it's going to get a little floppy at the top. So we are going to try at the bottom first. Now, I know I said I was going to use the lower mount, but after dry fitting it, I think that was a mistake. What I'm noticing is, because there's a full block here and only a partial block on the bottom, got a lot of wiggle. Even when holding this in tighter than I think that bolt will, just feels like it's trying to lift up. And I'm not getting that when I'm on the top, so I think I'm going to go with the top mount and see how that works. I'll Loctite this later. I may be switching it back and forth for testing. I will, however, torque it down just a little bit. Not bad. It's at about my neck, so the wind should keep going, the airflow. It is not in the way at all. No, it's not in the way of standing up. I had heard some people don't like this one standing, but I think in an aggressive position, it's going to be just fine. Stock mirrors clear with no problem. All right, let's get out on the road and try it out. Okay, welcome to a beautiful sunny day in upstate New York. Let's see how this windscreen works. There's no real wind today, so anything that is hitting me is pretty much generated by the momentum of the bike. No crosswinds, no tailwinds. That's not great. I hope the camera's picking it up, but my peak is vibrating. We're only doing 51 miles an hour, and it is, wow, it is vibrating a lot. A little bit of corners here. Once we get to a straight spot, I'll take a hand off the wheel and try to give you an idea of where the air is hitting me. Honestly, aside from the peak, it's not bad. This is not an overly large screen, but it is doing a decent job of protecting me. I'm going to say decent because I'm definitely feeling air where I don't on my GV. So, what are we dealing with here? Okay, this is where the air is clean. A couple inches above my camera, I'd say just below my eyes is where the air hits me, and it's obviously from the vibration all coming up off my helmet and running into the peak. My chest is all great. This is fine. There's nothing really coming in, nothing really getting me. However, where I'm really noticing air that I don't on my GV screen, sorry corners, I may not have picked the best road for this. Here, shoulders. On my GV, I'm out here. I am right here. So all of my left shoulder is in the air. Same thing, all of my right shoulder is in the air. I can get out of it a little bit here and there, but it's not terrible though. I mean, having air on your shoulders is a lot better than having it on your chest, or like with the stock screen, taking it right across the throat. So I'd say this is absolutely an improvement over the stock screen. All right, through the beauty of editing, we're gonna get away from these cars. So, we're better than the stock screen. However, if you wear a helmet with a peak, this is going to bother you. Okay, just to be sure, I've gone ahead and removed my peak. It's down here in my tank bag. Well, half of it is. And now we're out for a ride just to see if having the peak off makes a difference. All right, we're in the 50s, and I can tell you, wow, so much better. Absolutely no problem. Again, I'm getting hit right by the eyes, but that's not a big deal. It's an aerodynamic helmet, as they all are. It's going to be fine. Interestingly, now that I'm not getting that vibration on the peak, I'm noticing the air hitting my shoulders a little more. I guess I was being distracted by the vibration on my forehead there. But again, let's head back and closing thoughts. I hope that footage gives you an idea of the kind of coverage you can expect from an average-sized American. And I do expect that anyone who buys this screen will find it to be a significant upgrade over the little tiny one that ships with the bike. That said, it's not a really good screen. It's acceptable at best. And for the price, you're probably going to find one of these used as the 790S Guys upgrade. It's probably going to be a great deal. Where it falls apart, however, is that if you were going a very long distance, you're absolutely going to get coverage on your shoulders. You're going to get hit with the air there. And I think over time that'll really get to be a problem. And anywhere, even on short trips, if you have a helmet like the AT960 that has a floppy bill or peak, it's going to vibrate like crazy. Now, that's not entirely the fault of the screen, because this is a flimsy as heck part. So your helmet might be just fine, but there's no escaping the fact that the air will be hitting you at about eye level and moving up along the aerodynamics of the helmet. Your peak is going to catch air, and it's going to catch air constantly. This simply does not move air high enough to avoid any of the peak whatsoever. And if you're a person who likes to ride with your visor open, if you're between 5'10" and 6 foot, you're going to start catching that air right in the eyes. So I hope you got some sunglasses on, or they're going to dry out almost instantly. So my final thoughts are, it's a good windshield. It's acceptable. It's absolutely an upgrade. And if you can get one for $50 or even $100, it's going to be great for riding around. It's going to be a huge improvement, probably great for commuting. I certainly wouldn't want to tour with it. I may have to because I don't have a GV to put on it right now, but it's an acceptable windscreen and it is an upgrade. All right, if you stuck around, thank you very much. I do appreciate it, and take care.